why 2025 is your year to start a business coaching practice. That's the topic today on the Business Coaching Success Podcast. Let's jump in. BJ O'Neill here with the Business Coaching Success Podcast. So glad you're here, where I share with you strategies, tools, and tips to be able to grow your business coaching practice to six figures and beyond as a Christian business coach. Let's jump in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad that you are here. 2025, it is upon us, and you likely, if you're listening to this podcast, maybe you are thinking about starting a business coaching practice, consulting, utilizing your skills, your expertise, your experiences on educating and growing or helping rather business owners and entrepreneurs grow their business. Maybe you just started. Maybe you've been coaching for quite a while. But if you've been considering and thinking, which I hear this all the time, working with lots of coaches all over the world, we hear it all the time about, I've thought about doing this for quite some time. Then this is for you. I'm going to give you 10 very natural reasons. I would say several of them are likely going to kind of just hit you. Say, yep, that's me. And even if perhaps you're coaching and you're just starting, or you're coaching and you're stuck, these often are going to be areas that are going to just restart your motivation, your energy, your passion, your why, the driver. And even if you're a veteran, maybe you've got 8 to 10 clients and financially things are going well, but you have kind of lost the reason and the purpose and the why. These reasons are also going to be for you as well. So we have to have a driver. I'm a big proponent and big believer of writing down the biggest reasons and why you do what you're doing, specifically in growing a business, in this case, growing a business coaching business. Why? Why step out on a foot, on a faith, and have your own shingle and do your own thing? What's the reason? What's the driver? What's the purpose? We want to connect with that reason. We want to understand that reason. We want to pray about that reason. We want to focus on that reason. Excuse me. And really, it's the driver. Days that don't go well, days that go amazing, and everything in between, we must connect with the purpose and the why. So here's 10 reasons. If you're one of them, 2025 is for you. Perhaps we might be able to help you. Maybe we're the right fit, maybe not, but maybe we're the right fit. We are. I'll tell you in just a few moments how you can go about learning more about what we do and providing coaches with a full-blown, done-for-you, systematic approach to developing and building and starting and growing a business coaching business. Number one, these are not necessarily, by the way, in like order of importance, but they're here. Number one, achieving freedom. You want to create a process and a system that you can work with anywhere, with anyone, at any time. Live life on your terms. If you don't think that that's possible, I want to just challenge you, and you're looking at somebody, or you're listening, depending upon if you're listening or watching via video, you're looking at somebody who's done that very thing. Okay? It's doable. We've got coaches all over the country. They are doing it right now. They're coaching on Zoom. They're coaching in person. If they get to travel, they're still coaching if they so choose to do that. And they're making the decision that they're going to own their world. That's what freedom is about. It's not hyperbole. We're not talking about, never working. We're just simply saying that I want the freedom to choose to do it how I want to do it. And I'm tired of building somebody else's dream. I want to build my own dream. Number two, perhaps just the financial stress of life is just challenging. Whether you've got, kids in college, maybe you've got grandchildren, maybe you didn't save enough for your retirement for your 401k, and it's just provided more stress. And maybe you still are working, but you made the decision for now, I'm going to develop a revenue lane of coaching 3 to 4, but whatever, clients, so that I can have that additional income so I can put back to either pay that debt off, save more, buy that land, buy that property, or whatever the case may be. But you're looking to be able to remove this constant financial stress and pressure And you're going to do that by owning your own world, make what you want to make, have as many clients as you want, charge what you want. And that's the way that you're able to do it. Number 3 is you want to leave a legacy, and a lasting legacy for your family. And it's one that it just simply provides security and financial future. It's not to suggest that it's easy. And it's not to suggest that clients will stay forever. They won't. They can stay for a long time. People ask me all the time, how long did you keep clients? My average was between 3.5 to 4 years or so. I've got guys that I know that keeps them around a decade or so. Everybody's relationships with their clients are different, but when you create this consistency, you've got clients, they pay you month in and month out, and you charge between $2, $3, $4, $5 for one-on-one coaching. It has the opportunity to develop you into the stability to do it how you want, earn what you want. And by the way, look, let's move the hyperbole and platitudes to the side. If you're brand new, you're not going to start your first 2 or 3 months earning $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. So let's just put that on now. You can get there, and everyone's skill sets, backgrounds, experience levels are all different as to what that speed is going to be. But regardless, legacy is important to you. The next is you want to pursue your passion. That passion and that fulfillment that you get when you are helping guide someone, helping them unlock key principles that they've never considered before, helping them to understand how to develop a process and a system. Look, so many businesses and business owners are operational thinkers. Keep the lights on, turn them off, sweep the floors, pay the bills. We got to do those things. Someone needs to be focused on growing profitability. Otherwise, there will be no business around. So you may get passion and purpose and fulfillment of helping them do that very thing. Making a maximum impact and a meaningful impact with everyone you come across, not just your clients, perhaps people on their team. Maybe, it's if you decide to go down the networking route and you visit multiple, B&I groups, Chamber of Commerce's, or other types of connecting, local connecting, groups, and everyone that you interact with, you just love to make an impact, to leave a lasting impression, to give them those, what I call aha moments, like light bulbs that go off, like that matters to you. 2025 is your year if that is you. Perhaps, this sense of personal fulfillment to where you've got your values as a believer, your values, like you're fulfilling these values propositions. So let's just say that, you sat down, you're like, these are the things that matter most to me. These are the values that matter most in my life that I want to expand on and to unpack and deepen. In helping others do that gives you that ability to fulfill that personal desire, that need, that goal that you have in just how you operate and how you speak and how you make an impact and how you deliver results for those that you're working with. Maybe the deal for you is creating rather community of like-minded entrepreneurs. One of the things that I did early on is created groups. I had groups, many of them were faith-based, kind of like, Christian business devotional kind of groups. I created Christian business, business growth, strategies and whatnot. Some were paid masterminds. Some were just, free things that we did periodically throughout the year. But maybe creating that group of like-minded thinkers. One of the values of being a strategist and a coach and a consultant in your community, that word community could be local or it could be global. But when you're viewed as a thought leader, like that means something to you, like you draw passion out of that. You draw satisfaction out of that. Like helping others connect and connecting people peer-to-peer to help them, to sharpen the iron, if you will. You've heard that, that verse, iron sharpens iron. Like you draw value around being able to do that very thing and creating a community. Like that means a lot to you. Perhaps, you draw inspiration and energy from this idea of saying, I've seen the challenges that what goes on in businesses, and even since COVID, we saw, right there in media, right there in your community, right there through friends, relatives, and people that likely in your church and, past colleagues, all these different things that you heard all these stories of the challenges that a lot of business owners went through during COVID. And you realize, like, there's not a lot of meat on the bone in a lot of cases. There's not many businesses who truly are profitable. And you're drawn to wanting to help bring solution to that. Like helping them to stay ahead of the curve, helping them to be able to recognize, look, growing profitability, growing leadership, growing your culture doesn't have to be complicated when you understand process, systems, and structure. And you feel drawn to be a voice into that process. Like that really feeds you. And it's all cyclical, by the way. It's all cyclical, meaning when you are accessing your purpose, when you are drawing fulfillment, when you get energy from making an impact, all of that can fuel that flexibility that you're looking for, that legacy that you're looking for, that last one, which is unleashing your earnings potential. I don't love the term sky's the limit, but in theory and in reality, it really is, because you are in control. So for instance, I could have, it's math, not magic. If I was charging $2,000 a month for one-on-one coaching, which is the average, some charge $3, some charge $5, some charge $1,500. It's just different for everybody, and you get to choose. So if I was charging $2,000 and I had 5 clients, that's $120,000 a year. If I wanted to, then I'm going to use basic math here for context. If I wanted to earn $240, guess what? I do one of two things. I now charge $4,000 a month, or I get 10 clients. You get to choose. And everybody's ability to do that, some start with a full-time job. Many start with a full-time job, or many start with owning a business. Lots of our coaches own businesses, 1, 2, or 3, or they're in the process of selling a business, right? And so getting the engine running, getting your systems and tools, getting training, all that, while you're still in that, you get a client or two to get some momentum or whatever. And then when you're done with that, if that's your goal, now sometimes that's not the goal, but if it is your goal, now you've gotten traction, you're getting your gravity there to move forward. But you're going to just make the decision that I'm going to have a desire to earn what it is that fulfills the goal that I have. Maybe you have this dream of, I hear this, fairly often, of buying land or just, having a lake house, or, doing some really interesting things that does require resource. And in the current situation that you're in, it's not going to get done there. So you have to take control of your life and make a decision that, you know what, no matter how difficult, challenging, what I got to learn, whatever, I'm going to make it happen, because I'm impregnated with this idea, this thought, this conviction of these things that I want to accomplish, provide for my family, the security. On the back half of the back 9 of my life, I want to do things differently than I did on the front half. Maybe you burnt both ends of the candle, as a business owner or as an employee or whatever, and it's time to do it very differently. Maybe you're a road warrior, you're in sales and you're on the road constantly. You want to come off the road, and this is a manner where you can, coach from home or coach from, Maui. If you decide to, you're and your spouse decide to go take 3 or 4 days there, and one of those days you're going to, have a couple of sessions, guess what? You can do it from Maui. So those are your reasons why 2025 is your year. Maybe you connected with one of them. Maybe you connected with all of them. But here's what I know, and this is really important. If you've been having this thought that you have about developing yourself as a strategist, as a consultant, and as a coach, if you've been having it for quite a while, it's likely not going to go away. And there's a reason why I know this is I talk to guys all the time, and I hear it constantly. Matter of fact, we've got 2 guys in our system. We've had about 80 coaches or so around the country. We've got 2 guys that are coming back on board because, meaning not that they'd started, but they talked to us a year ago or so, and they never pulled the trigger and moved forward. And right now they're like, you know what? Should have done it a year ago. I've thought about it all year long, and they've been thinking about it for multiples of years. That's probably you. You're probably in that situation, in that season right now. And if you are, don't let another year go by. It is one of those things, that being coaching, it is one of those things that you can continue to grow, develop, but you want to do it with systems, tools, resources, and a community. So if you're interested in learning and trying to figure out, and if you think that perhaps what we do is a value to you and a resource, maybe it's not, but maybe it is, you can go to businesscoachmastery.com. That's businesscoachmastery.com. There's some resources there that you can review about our Done For You system. You can schedule a chat. Quick thing about the chat. So if you happen to listen to this episode, let's see, this is the 15th, I think, December. We've got a few more spots before we shut it down for the rest of the year. So if you happen to listen to it the week of the 15th, there's a few spots left. I think that we looked this morning around 6 or so. You can grab one of those. If not, no worries. Begin to land the plane down on the first week of January. Let's talk about it, and we'll discuss with you exactly what we do. You can determine if it's the right fit. Maybe somebody else is. I don't know. But regardless, if you've been thinking about it, it's been an itch. You've been scratching at it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's not going to stop. Ask me how I know. I was one of them one day, a long time ago, to where the idea, the thought of all the 10 that we just discussed, at some level, that's BJ. Like flexibility, legacy, impact, finances, community, all those things, making an impact, are matter to me, and likely they matter to you too. And you can solve it. You can do something about it. Or the other choice is you sit back and you let another year go by wishing that you had taken action and taking a step of faith. All right? Hope that means something to you today. Hope we get a chance to chat at some point when you are ready to do so. All right? Until next time, take care.